Okay, now we have our prompt broken down so we know what we're actually writing about. So now we're going to work on translating and organizing our thoughts into an insider chart. So everyone pretty much does an insider chart a little bit differently. So it depends on what you like to do and how your teacher has taught you. I'm going to show you what's easiest for me, but again, you can change this to however works best for you. So on your test, you'll have a blank piece of paper that's scratch paper that's inside of your test booklet. So if you turn your test booklet around like this into a to the horizontal, you can fold it in half and then fold it one more time. And that will make a graphic organizer for you. That will make the helps chart, or some of you might call it the insider chart. Okay, so now you have 4 columns to work with. And I cannot emphasize enough to you, as I'm sure your teachers have been emphasizing to you all year and much longer than that. It is so important for you to take some time to plan out your essay because that makes the biggest difference when you're actually writing, especially when you don't have a ton of time and you don't have a lot of space. Okay, so once you get your essay or once you get your scratch paper folded like this, then we want to label it. So again, everyone's teacher might do something a little bit different, but we always start with the prompt. Then we have the topics. I always tell my kiddos this is reasons. These are the reasons that support your position. Over here, we have our helps, and then we have our thesis statement. Now, everyone's brain works a little bit differently. Usually I like to do my topics first and then do my thesis statement so I can just plug them straight in. Some of you, it might help to do your thesis statement and take your position and then come back to do your topics. So again, it's completely up to you what order you want to go. You're the writer, so you get to make that decision yourself. Okay, so the prompt we have already broken down. And I'm going to go ahead and write it as a question. So here on my insider chart, because I want to know exactly what it is I'm supposed to be answering. So, is it important not to conform no matter the situation? Okay, so very important with the persuasive task. You need to take a side. So, although I could probably explain many different aspects of why it is important sometimes to conform and why it's important not to conform, you need to pick one side. So you can't be in the middle. That will really trip you up. We'll do a little bit with concession and counter argument later, but that is very different from not picking a side. So pick one side to go with. I think I'm going to pick not conforming. Although if you're thinking that you're not exactly sure which side you want to go on, it might help to go ahead and brainstorm some reasons for both, and then you can decide which one has the stronger argument. Okay, so some of my reasons for not conforming is are it is important to be an individual. Okay, so even though most people would want to kind of fit in, that won't really bring you a lot of happiness long term. I'm also thinking about how sometimes society gets it wrong, and you should follow your own moral compass, your own path. And then another reason is that, as an individual, you have more unique gifts, and we need lots of different types of people to make the world successful. Okay, so I have a few topics now to pick from. Okay, and all three are pretty strong, I think I can work with. And so your next step will be moving on to the thesis statement and how to put these topics into your thesis statement, which will be on your next video.